Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? We have a lot to talk about, guys. We've just had the CPI data coming through. So, mad love and respect to everyone passing through. I've got to get straight into the charts, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for passing through. Let's have a conversation. How many times are you going to say the word passing through? Let's roll with the flavor, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, here we go. It's going to be a quick one today, ladies and gentlemen, as I do have my daughter with me and she's patiently waiting for me to take her back to her mother's. So, ladies and gentlemen, CPI data comes in more than expected. An increase of 0.1%. That's a problem. That means the Fed is going to be somewhat way more aggressive than what we could anticipate. Although 75 basis points seems to be locked in right now, there's a 90% chance of that actually happening. We've got till the 21st of September until the Fed actually meets. So a lot can change from now until then. So let's firstly have a look at Bitcoin, and the question that is on my mind, ladies and gentlemen, did you pay yourselves? It was too good to be true. Word on the street was that there was going to be an increase across the board and the data was going to come in favorable for assets against the US dollar. Ladies and gentlemen, it didn't work out like that. We go into the chart right now. This was before the actual move, ladies and gentlemen. These are the liquidation points before the actual move. Now look what we have. Quick refresh in the chart, ladies and gentlemen, and you can see the bleed in price. Mr. Market Maker comes down and eats that. 20, how many liquidation points have we got here? Wait, this was 12 hours on BitMEX. Let me get that up for you. Run it, 7 days. Let's go down into the chart. 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. New York is fully open right now. Just look at that madness right there, ladies and gentlemen. Complete annihilation in the range. They just ate up that liquidity right there. Go back into the 12-hour chart itself, and you'll see clearly, oh, man, it's sad, man. I hate it when people get liquidated. Here's the zones right now. We've just eaten $1 billion worth of long liquidations in this move to the upside, coupled with $893 million worth of long liquidations. Sad days, ladies and gentlemen. But where does that leave us right now? There is the green vector candle down at the lows, ladies and gentlemen. The move might not happen straight away, but this is a very sharp move and a clean response to the data that's just come out for the US. What does that mean? We need to go over to the dominance of the dollar right now. Look what's going on. Gaps have been filled, ladies and gentlemen, near enough closing the gap right there. They made their way all the way down the pullback. They said it, that the pullback for the dominance of the dollar may be short-lived, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see what the story is. Fast moves, man. That's why I'm always trying to encourage you all. Pay yourselves. It's great when things are going in our favor, but that's the best time for us to pay ourselves. Always take the money out of the charts. Look at Ethereum. Now, Ethereum, in my honest opinion, Ethereum was always looking and giving us the signal that she was breaking down before Bitcoin, okay? Just look at the way Ethereum was behaving. Recovery of the green vector candle in the range, ladies and gentlemen. We still haven't even got the futures markets to respond to the data. Look at the NASDAQ, taking an absolute bleed. Look at that. It's terrible. And what always happens? Whenever you recover a vector candle in the range, this is where an influx of liquidity is obtained. They need to reverse it back down, ladies and gentlemen. That's the name of the game. Because they need to offset the imbalances that are happening in the chart. This is a huge imbalance in the NASDAQ. Look at the S&P. Huge imbalance to the upside. Ever so close to closing that gap. But what have we said about the yields? Oh, my days. The yields. They said it. If it gets to 3.5%, that's going to be a problem. Firstly, before I continue with this discussion, ladies and gentlemen, mad love and respect for everyone passing through. I hope you're all doing well this afternoon. Happy days. Tino, what do you think on the ultra big gap on SPX? Well, it looks like we're on our way to getting that filled, my brother. What's going on, pattern watchers, patrons, Discord, pattern watchers? What is going on? I hope you're all doing well today, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you paid yourselves? How many of you paid yourselves? The lesson that must be taken, I will keep saying, pay yourselves, regardless of how big of a move Bitcoin makes to the upside, to the downside. The narrative has been set. The yields are nearly hitting that 3.5% mark. Investors now are concerned. The Fed is going to be aggressive. We go over to the actual data that come out, ladies and gentlemen. You can see bright as day. Here it is. Came in at 0.1%. Okay, core CPI increase, ladies and gentlemen. That is sad days. Now the Fed needs to bring the fire, ladies and gentlemen, and we know what's going to happen. Euro USD, whoops, takes a rip to the downside, coming back into that vector candle recovery. We still got another vector zone for Euro USD to obtain, ladies and gentlemen, and that's down where this arrow is right here. Is it possible that Euro USD can make the continuation lower and absolutely bleed? And that's going to be evident, ladies and gentlemen, because the dominance of the dollar is here, and it looks like it wants to get back up towards that 110 zone. So be very cautious when you are running shorts right now, ladies and gentlemen, because there's fast moves that can happen. Sharp retrace back up to only continue with the narrative to the downside. Everyone right now is running to sell off their assets. Now look what's going on EXO charts. You can see, look what happens here. Just look at this treachery right here, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Market Maker selling into the retail trader who is buying at these points, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the delta, 32, 13, 17, 28, 6, the decrease overall. Mr. Market Maker hitting the ask, lifting the ask, because that's where he knows he can get his orders filled at the highest possible point. For him to only reverse it and rip price to the downside. Look at how quick these candles were created, man. Look, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 0 seconds, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 36 seconds, 49 seconds. Do you understand how much liquidity was being moved right now in the chart, ladies and gentlemen? And it looks like it's going to continue even lower. Roll over to the book map, and look what we got right here. Mad liquidations. Look at this line right here. Look at this, long liquidations getting eaten alive, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like they want to keep on going into that zone. Look at the liquidity down below. What have we got right now? We've got quite a bag of liquidity right here, which looks like it's going to get eaten alive if Bitcoin doesn't hold this range. Look at the deltas coming in. Mad liquidity. 1,300 Bitcoin. What else we got? 1,700 Bitcoin. Another 1,400 Bitcoin. It ain't stopping, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the orders down below at 20,800. So, and look at Ethereum over here as well, ladies and gentlemen. You can see Ethereum is just breaking down, completely trading away from the VWAP itself. We got 3,123 Bitcoin, Ethereum at 1,600, ladies and gentlemen. And before that, at 1,614, we have 2,600 Ethereum just about to get taken. And below that, another 2,000. And then below that, at 1,608, is another 2,000. Man, the liquidity is coming in. They're trying to get their orders filled, ladies and gentlemen. It's a sad day across the board. Unfortunately, Bitcoin's move to the downside may be sustained, and we've got this vector candle recovery. I mean, guys, it is absolutely phenomenal on the grounds, ladies and gentlemen, that if you are not paying yourself and taking advantage of movement in the chart, you are going to experience these sort of pains in trading, ladies and gentlemen. It's the truth, okay? Now, look, if we break down this move beforehand, how could we have understood what was going on? Well, listen, guys, you can't tell what's going to happen, especially in news plays. This is the problem with news plays, guys. You just can't tell. We can see green vector candles appearing at the highs. We could use the idea of delta on EXO charts, where you're seeing lots of liquidity building to the upside, but not actually following through. Look at these two same orders right here. 2.5 million, 2.5 million, ripped to the downside, okay? It's a very sad day, man. I don't like it. How can you pay yourself if you never see a profit? Well, you know what, bro? It's worse if you don't see a profit, because then there's room for you to improve. What's worse is when you have a profit and you don't take it. So what are you here for? That's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. That's the truth. Now, already the UK is in a recession. That's what they're already saying. The Eurozone may be on its way towards that. If we actually even go into dollar yen itself, look at that, man. $144, okay? 144 yen. Look at this madness. I've been waiting for yen, dollar yen, to make its way towards 150, and still the yen, Japanese government, is still not, the Bank of Japan, sorry, is still not doing anything about price of the dollar. It's unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen, but what can I say to you? Gentlemen, I just can't believe it, man. It's one of those days, man. Look at the aggressiveness coming back into the psychological low. Let me get back into the book map a second, guys. What have we got down here? Drop, retrace, continuation. Quickly get Bitcoin up. Look, they're stalling inside of this range right here, guys. And we have got 596 Bitcoin at 21,200. We're probably going to come back into that psychological zone. But the move so far has been very aggressive in Bitcoin. So if you're going to try and take advantage of a retrace back up, be very, very cautious. We ain't even had New York futures markets respond to this, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a very important time. Okay? What are your thoughts on Bitcoin dominance on the weekly time frame? Well, look, Bitcoin dominance seems to be coming in, but people are transacting on that. Look, ultimately, altcoins are going to be feeling the pain right now. But what's going on is the legacy assets that are going to dictate everything. Legacy assets, EURUSD, the NASDAQ. Where is it? The NASDAQ. This is sad. I'm going to find out how much liquidity has actually gone into the NASDAQ in this move to the upside. Because the last move by the NASDAQ over here, ladies and gentlemen, was approximately 7 trillion. Equity put into the NASDAQ since the bounce of June 16th. Now they've literally just paid the price. Drop, retrace into the vector candle recovery zone. Continuation to the downside is the narrative. Again, if the yields keep on going, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. They've hit nearly that 3.5%. That is going to be a problem. That is going to be a trigger for the Fed. It's going to get interesting. Gold takes an absolute nosedive and recovers all the vector candles that it's made on this move to the upside. When do we look to enter short? Well, let's just take the concept of the hybrid system, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Do you sell at the lowest price? So you buy a car of value. Do you then go to a guy and say, look, I brought this car at £10,000. I want to sell it to you for £1,000. He's going to say to you, bro, what's up with you, man? Why are you selling it for 1,000? Well, you know, that's what you do, innit? You sell, you go short from the lowest point in the chart. Wrong. You go short from the highest point in the chart, ladies and gentlemen. You buy from the lowest point in the chart. You sell from the highest point in the chart. That's standard economics. That's the way the market maker operates. Notice the delta right here. 2.5 million selling at the high. 2.5 million selling at the high. Who's selling at that point? There's profit taking, but there's Mr. Market Maker selling at that point. Because there's retail at the side to buy. That's the truth right there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Why is dollar index shooting up when inflation is rising? Because traders are seeking the safety of the dollar. And this has been a problem for a very long time. The dominance of the dollar has always rocked the charts. That's why Bitcoin can't go up. That's why Euro can't go up. That's why any asset against the US dollar cannot go up if the dominance of the dollar continues to go up. Okay? How can there... Here we go. Ash K. How can there be long position liquidation open orders at 10K, 13K, 15K for more than a year or two? Don't people close their positions? And if profits are taken in billions, market maker is in a loss. Market maker is never in a loss. Or should I say, he never establishes a loss. All right? He can be in a loss for a long time, but he knows where he's going to move liquidity. He knows where to move price because he knows where he's going to mark price. That's why the markets turn at each point. Because principally, you've got to look at it like this. Let's say Mr. Market Maker at this point right here, okay? He marks price up to the upside. He then rips it back down at speed. Why? Because he would have trapped enough traders long in this zone, and he would have built enough liquidity to open his shorts because he needs to utilize the retail traders' liquidity in terms of his liquidations to offset the close of his positions that he's building in the opposite direction. In other words, say you have got, this is a price structure, okay? You're going long as price is moving up, okay? Let me just do this. Price is moving up. You're going long. Down below here is your liquidation points. Now imagine millions and thousands of traders going long, which is what they've done over here, okay? Now, Mr. Market Maker, in order for you to go long, he sells you a contract opposite because let's look at it logically. Where are you going to get your profit from in your long? If you've got $100 gain in your long position, whose money do you think you're taking? You're taking the liquidity providers. All right? Likewise, if you don't pay yourself, Mr. Market Maker is going to roll price over and he's going to hit your liquidations. And he's going to keep taking that liquidity because he's in profit of $100. But you're now in a loss of $100. And you're going lower and lower. And it's eating your liquidity. Mr. Market Maker goes long from the lowest point in the chart. He goes short from the highest point in the chart. That's economics 101. You wouldn't buy a house to sell it at a discount. You'd buy it so that you can sell it for a profit. So why is the market any different, ladies and gentlemen? Why is it when people see price moving to the upside, They get excited that Bitcoin's going to keep on going up. These sharp moves in the chart, ladies and gentlemen, are quick profit taking and eating the liquidity of the retail trader who doesn't pay himself. And in this channel, I will always keep screaming and shouting and chewing all your ears off to get you to get that ingrained in your minds, ladies and gentlemen, because there's nothing worse than leaving a profitable trade to turn into a loss. It's the worst thing that a trader can do to his psyche. How do you come back from that? You know? Noob question. In case of a recession or something big happened, like a war or something, what will happen to the market? They will close for a period? Nah, the market never closed. Even during the Great Depression of 1929, when the Wall Street crashed, they didn't close the market. The market just crashed. Money had to be taken out. And then things stabilized for a little bit, and then they decided to roll price back up again, and things started to pick up. This is the cycle, ladies and gentlemen. All right? If we go over to the S&P itself, guys, check this out. If you go over to the S&P and bring it up on the monthly time frame, look at all the events that have happened in the S&P. All right? Look at all these events. You can see bright as day. This was the subprime mortgage crisis, 2007, 2008. That was a financial meltdown. Okay? The market didn't close. They just kept on marking price down lower until the idea of buying and selling changes. And the narrative continued. Back up it went. Okay? Now we are in this zone. So the S&P on the monthly time frame tested its 50 EMA and moved away from it. So where are we at? And they're still talking of yet another move to the downside. Could this be that? Could this be the start of it? Another test of the 800 EMA on the S&P. But the sad truth is this, ladies and gentlemen, by principle of the vectors, you can see the S&P has a vector candle range right here. 3,390. Do exactly the same for the NASDAQ. What do you see? Oh, God. Look at that. Blue vector candle on the monthly time frame. Green vector candle at 11,362. Would that be a plausible thing for the NASDAQ to come back down? Now that we know that the Fed is going to get aggressive with its interest rates, now that we know the yield has gone up and it's trying to test that 3.5, anything below between 3.54%, that's a problem for the marketplace, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the truth. Tino, can you explain how market makers can make price go up as they have to hit the ask, and that means that they have to buy at higher prices and that costs them money? No, that's not how they do it, okay? You've got to remember, market makers have this thing. Well, they have targets. Quarterly, yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily, hourly targets, okay? Now, if they are going to be moving price up, you've got to remember, look at the direction that we are in right now in Bitcoin, in principle, okay? They've been marking price down. Now, Mr. Market Maker can be building longs from all the way from 766K all the way down to here, ladies and gentlemen. And you'll say, isn't he in a loss? Hold on a second. He's been running shorts all this time. So is he in a loss? Where is he? To me, Mr. Market Maker right now is in the gains. And he will continuously be in the gains, ladies and gentlemen. There's no two ways about that. Okay? Now, listen, if you are new to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, a few guys are asking a few questions about the market maker. If you are new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe because we do these live streams every single day, 2 p.m., New York open. We've got the futures markets open in 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And I just want to give you my heads up on that because I need to tend to my daughter because she is with me today. She ain't feeling too well, but it's all good. But I just want to give you the heads up on things. If you are new, get yourself acquainted in the Pattern Watchers Discord, ladies and gentlemen. You want to learn more about the hybrid system, get yourself over to the Patreon itself where we can congregate with other pattern watchers, go through masterclasses, talk about live trades, understanding the narratives, and understand the hybrid system a little bit more. Now listen, on the daily time frame, Bitcoin has sort of rejected the 50 EMA and we've got this green vector candle. The principle of the vector says they're going to come back to the vectors. How long it takes is a different story, ladies and gentlemen. How much liquidity you decide to risk is down to you. I will always talk about the upside and the downside because I'm catering for my scalpers, okay? My scalpers in the chart right now, 5-minute time frame, what do you see? You see price bleeding out, going into value area lows, eating the liquidity, imbalance in the chart, Okay? A little bit of a retrace back in continuation to the downside to start finalizing these bad boy vectors that are appearing down at these lows right here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Looking at the book map, you can see the journey of price. Slight retrace, continuation to the downside is what we would be expecting. But now that this data's come out on the CPI, and that's not even all, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we have more data coming out. So what's that going to say? Is that going to lead into the idea that it's going to continue higher as well? Sad days, man. And then, of course, we have retail sales coming in on Thursday. So it could be a very interesting week for cryptocurrency, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Now, listen. In my opinion, wait for the markets to settle. All right? Futures markets ain't even open, and we got 10 more minutes until that marketplace actually rolls out. Okay? So be very cautious. Futures obviously are going to be gapping down. All right? So be mindful of that. We look at the NASDAQ up here. You can see it's now, the close price from last night was 12,739. You look at the price right now, it's 12,376. There's a massive gap that's due in the chart, which principally you would expect them to recover. But are they going to recover the gap so soon? Is the narrative of the dominance of the dollar going to continue higher? As you can see, they've initiated a sharp move up and nearly finalized the close of that gap. They just literally so close towards it. So again, ladies and gentlemen, please be mindful when you are trading these sort of scenarios. Wait until 3 p.m. because the market would have fully absorbed the price action movement in the charts. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is 1,700 of you in the chart. Only 383 people have liked the stream. I've got to go and tend to my daughter. So just please, ladies and gentlemen, wait until 3 p.m. before you even consider doing anything because the New York Stock Exchange needs to react to the pending news announcements that have just the news that has just come out. Okay, sorry, man. I'm losing my words, man. This is unbelievable. Okay? Guys, listen. Mad love and respect. Sorry, I got to keep it short and sweet, but I've got to tend to my daughter. Please take care of yourselves. Don't be bold with leverage. Keep it short and sweet. Pay yourselves consistently. And I'm going to do a breakdown video this evening for the channel so you guys can understand the narrative of this move so you can look to project it in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, mad love and respect. And I will check out with you all later on. Take care of yourselves, gang. Peace.